Hello, guys, and welcome to my house. As you can see here, we're back at my house again. I'm your host today, Alan Snyder, and to be honest, I thought about all the stuff that happened at the press conference, and I decided I wanted to try to make this a regular thing if I can. Um, we are here today. A very special guest is my son, Mr. Scarface himself, Aaron Snyder. Thank you, son, for joining me on today's show.
Oh, no problem, old man. It's good to be here. It's good to be at your house, wherever this is, Miami, Florida, over here. Yeah, I'm excited to get this started. So let's go.
All right. Well, you are no doubt one of the most anticipated debuts that happened this year. Obviously, I know what kind of preparations you are making for your debut, but for those that don't know, how are your preparations going for your UFC debut?
Well, kind of how I approach the Olympics. Pretty much how you approach anything on this level of competition here, and especially here, the biggest stage, the biggest promotion, league in the world as far as fighting goes. Yeah, I mean the preparation isn't much different than anything else I've done. This is just business as usual, and it is business. Also a little bit of pleasure, but I can't really say I'm doing anything crazy. I'm not doing no Tony Ferguson stuff, kicking down steel poles and stuff with my leg, and it's pretty basic stuff, to be honest.
Right. Well, I definitely, as your father, I definitely look forward to your debut next month, which I will be on the same card as well. So, father and son duo about to fuck shit up, you know what I mean?
Of course.
All right. Your sister Ashley retired undefeated in MMA, as well as your uncle Antonio. What are they lending to your fight cap, and what can you learn from their careers?
You know, I think they're probably the most crucial part of it because they have that experience. I mean, you yourself as well, but they have that experience. They have that knowledge, and they know everything that needs to be done before the fight. I mean, that's half the fight. Before the fight, cutting the weight, the kind of studying the opponents, that kind of stuff. All the media that has to be done, and I think learning from them is just going back and watching their careers, watching what they've done, and how they've conducted themselves inside and outside the cage. I think it's very important to learn from the past, learn from your roots, and that's kind of the most important thing of it is listening to them, because they've done this several times before, and like you said, they did this undefeated. They went undefeated in this combat sport. So I think just everything they're lending is beneficial to me. I mean, just their expertise alone is crucial to my debut in the UFC. So
Yes, that is a good point. They both had very decorated careers. All right, so now we're gonna move on to your UFC 12 opponent, and we all know that he should just run the hills, but your opponent at UFC 12, Marvin Vettori, called you a bored rich prick and said you're only in the UFC for a paycheck. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, Marvin. Oh, Marvin. That doesn't even make sense, buddy. I don't know what he's talking about, to be honest with you. Bored rich prick. I don't even know what that means. I'm just for a paycheck. I think everyone competes for a paycheck. That's why you turn pro to begin with. I mean, if you weren't competing for a paycheck, I think LeBron James would have gone to college. I think he'd still be a college player. It doesn't make sense. The criticism doesn't make sense. I don't understand what this guy's saying. Marvin has maybe had a little too many shots to the head, I think, or maybe he's just Italian. I don't know. I guess Italian means being stupid and being just a meathead. I mean, The guy's clearly on. He's clearly on something. I don't know if it's cocaine. I don't know if it's juice. I don't know what the hell is wrong with MAHVIN, but I think he's just trying to stir up something. He's trying to find some way to promote this. He doesn't have to. He can just leave it to me. I mean, he's embarrassing himself. Quite frankly, the criticism that, oh, this is just for the paycheck. I mean, sure, and it's also for the fact that I love the game. I love the sport. I've been studying many opponents, yours included. I've been studying, reviewing film and tape and breaking them down, and I just think maybe it's time that I get in there and finally pull the trigger on this mixed martial arts career that I've been scouting for a long time. I think MAHVIN's a little loopy. I think the guy's maybe shot too many needles in his ass, and it's finally getting up to his head at this point. The notion is just preposterous. I have no idea what this guy's talking about, and if that's what he's saying, then I guess he's right, because guess what? He's doing it for a paycheck too. That's why he wanted this. This is going to be the biggest payday of his life. He's never going to reach this high again. This is the biggest fight of his life. Nobody knows his other opponents. Everybody knows the scar face. That's just it. Next question.
Well, okay, we're speaking back at UFC 12. Who do you think wins the UFC 12 main event between Angela Lee and Zara Mercer?
I'm friends with both of them, train with both of them. I think Angela Lee takes it. I think I give her the edge because of her experience. I think Zari's is going to do well in certain situations like the clinch and the Muay Thai clinch. I think she'll probably dominate Angela there. And I think that's what she's going to have to kind of shoot for, those clinch situations. I believe that Angela, of course, she has a better wrestling repertoire. She has great jiu-jitsu, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. Of course, Zari has that one-hit knockout power, but we've seen some power from Angela lately. We've seen her, with the kickboxing. We've seen her kind of change up her game. I give Angela the slight edge, although I wouldn't be surprised if Zari comes away with the victory. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it might be one of the greatest fights we've ever seen, and I can't wait to experience it. I mean, being on the same card as that in itself is an honor, but being able to sit back and watch it and enjoy it is going to be great. I can't wait.
Yes, I'm definitely with you on that one. I'm definitely gonna, after I get done whooping Luke Rockhold's ass, I'm gonna sit back and watch this as a fan, which I'm sure is gonna blow the fucking roof off the place. And I definitely feel like it's gonna be contender for fight of the year, if not fight of freaking all times. So, with that being said, what is your relationship with the notorious Conor McGregor, and what do you make of his recent beef with Kobe Covington and Dustin Poirier?
Yeah, I'm good friends with him. I'm good friends with Dustin too. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what him and Chaos are feuding about. I don't really understand the beef. It kind of came out of nowhere. It looks to be pretty serious. I saw the press conference. I think these guys are getting ready to rip each other apart when they get in there. I think that's the best. I think when you become friends with somebody and then it falls apart, I think the best friends make even greater enemies, as you see with me and Seth and all the rivalries I've had across the years. I think I really don't know what to make of this. It's pretty out of nowhere. Came out of nowhere to me. I think it came out of nowhere to most people. As for his beef with Dustin, that's just become so personal. I mean, both of these things have become so personal. I think I'm going to stay out of it and just support when the support is needed.
Exactly. And honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I think, we saw him tweet last night that he's about to sue Dana White. I think the Conor's just blowing everything way out of proportion right now, if I can be honest with you.
Well, he almost blew your house out of proportion, Alan.
He did. I would have whooped his ass, okay? I was about to body slam him through the fucking table.
He almost blew your house out of the damn stratosphere. That's what I heard.
Well, he's lucky he didn't do that. Honestly, I'm friends with the Notorious too, but sometimes you just gotta be cool in the game sometimes in order to get what you want, and Connor is definitely not cool in the game right now. So that's what I have to.
Yeah, well, listen. I mean, he's called the Notorious for a reason, right? I mean, the Notorious B.I.G. Biggie. He was notorious for his history and you listen to his songs, the stories he would tell. Some of those were real stories, so he was notorious for a reason. And I think the same applies to Notorious Connor. I think he's might be living up to his gimmick. I don't know. I can't speak for the man. We're friends. We have a charity event coming up soon. New Year's Eve, we'll be putting all the proceeds for the exhibition to charity. I think he's a great guy. I just think sometimes when fight season comes around, he's just that evil gets in him, and he's another person completely.
Another animal indeed. What does your daughter Maya think of you going into the UFC?
She's a little bit nervous. Told me she was going to make a meme out of me if I came up short, so that's very comforting to know. Your own daughter's going to be making memes of you. Yeah, she's pretty.
Boy.
She's got some kind of. I think it's a healthy nervousness. She knows that anything can happen as soon as that door closes. Doesn't matter stats and background and statistics. That kind of stuff doesn't really matter in this game. And I wouldn't expect her to think anything different because that's the philosophy I have. Even when you go in there, she's nervous. She's always worried about what's going to happen. She was worried in the Yuri fight. I think I don't blame her for being a little bit nervous. Now, Celia is just she's gone off the deep end. She's just going crazy. She thinks it's going to be a slaughter. She thinks I'm just going to destroy this MAHVIN, and she said in 50 seconds. That was her prediction. She said it was going to be a 50 it wasn't going to go over a minute.
Damn.
Now, I mean, I guess that's just a testament to how great they've seen me train, how they've seen me in sparring. They've seen what I've done to some of these guys in sparring, and you've seen yourself the submissions I've been pulling off, the body shots, the volume of kicks. I can't blame her for having that philosophy. I mean, hey, what can you say? I guess it's family. Of course, they're going to be a little more excited than usual or nervous on that kind of spectrum. To two very, very different ends of the spectrum for these two right now. Still, I applaud them for being honest and upfront, especially in Amaya's case. And there is a very real possibility that this doesn't work out, that this is an embarrassing moment, and I do get made a meme. Hey, I can take it. I've taken worse. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Me personally, I think you'll also get it done in the first round. Probably not in the first 50 seconds, but I believe in you. And I think you can get it done.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
No problem, son. All right. What is your plan for your UFC career? How many times a year do you plan to fight, and how will it affect your WWE schedule?
It's a great question, Papa. My plan, I have for any task I take on, any business venture I take on, it is world domination. Dominate 185, probably go to either 170 or 205. No offense, dominate up there. Wherever the wind blows is where I will go. And as for how many times a year do I plan, I can't say for sure right now. It all depends. Got some lingering injuries that still need taking care of. Who knows what kind of shape I'll be in after the first fight. Just to think of the ones after that is a little too arrogant. And my WWE schedule, as I plan to step away from the WWE for a while soon. Don't get me wrong, wrestling's my first love, but I got some business elsewhere that I need to attend to, and I think the WWE is in a good place and I think SmackDown is in a good place to where I can step away for a while, whether that's with the championship or without it. Doesn't really matter. All I know is when I come back, everyone knows what's going to happen. It's Seth Rollins. He's going to get his. But very soon I'll be stepping away from the squared circle, and I will be making the transition to the cage, dedicating myself fully to this endeavor. I'm very excited. I'm very ecstatic to. I mean, it's a new adventure. It's a new adventure, and I love new ventures, whether it's business, pleasure, whatever. I'm hungry. I'm hungry to try something new. I'm hungry to get in there and see how I can flip this game on its head, flip this division on its head. And I think that's what this 185 division needs right now. Personally, I think it is the best division currently as it stands. You look at the other divisions. Yeah, there's buzz in those divisions, but there's not as much as there is in 185. Look how many guys you've got. You've got Luke Rockhold, the champion, the drunken old bastard he's becoming. You got Israel Adesanya, the last style bender. You've got, of course, MAHVIN. Well, you won't have MAHVIN after the 21st if I have my way with this fucking punk. But still, you've got Darren Till, all these people in this division. Anthony Chandler, our very own Anthony Chandler. And if that fight happens, there might be some kind of family tensions. I don't know if I'll ever fight that guy. I don't know if that's going to be fair to the rest of the family. But if it needs to be done, then it will be done. Still, there's so much to do here in the UFC. I mean, I've done everything in the WWE, Alan. You know that. I've done everything. I've done it all. Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble runner-up, WWE champion, WWE World Heavyweight champion, undisputed champion, tag team champion. I mean, there's not much I have not done in the WWE. I've done it all, and I have seen it all. Now it's time to set sail for the next grand adventure, conquer the next empire, and make it my own. Expand the Snyder Empire. That's the plan. I can't wait to do it, and I don't think my WWE schedule will affect this at all, because this is going to be me, the mixed martial artist, Olympic Grand Slammer. I'm ready, Alan. I'm hyped. I'm fucking hyped.
Yes, sir. This is a Snyder family. We're always in some type of a fighting game, and it's no different whether it's WWE or the UFC or one championship. It don't matter. We're everywhere. So, who are your favorite fighters in the UFC right now?
Great question. I'd have to say I'll go. Let me try to go by division. Strawweight, the women's strawweight division, of course, Angela Lee, Zari Mercer. I'm becoming a pretty big fan of Thug Rose Namajunas. I've been watching back some of her fights in anticipation for her return to the cage, which I can't wait for. I think she's going to do great. Flyweight, 125, women's flyweight. Obviously Jessica Ai. I mean, that's an incredible comeback story. That was incredible to watch her performance against Macy Barber at the UFC 11 event. I was inspired by it, to be honest. I was inspired seeing the improvements she's made, seeing the adjustments she's made. I think the way she's kind of transformed herself into this more complete martial artist with the boxing, with the footwork, and with the power that she's introduced here now. I'm inspired. I think 125, I think she has made that division. She has made that division. She's given it the buzz that 115 has. She's given it the kind of spark that 115 has now. I think it's going to be interesting to see her title defenses, because I think she's kind of pushed everybody else in that division to be greater than what they previously were. So I'm a big fan of Jessica Ai, 125. I think she's done great with that division. 135, I almost said featherweight, the bantamweight, women's bantamweight division. I don't know about that division. I think the division could use a little more. There's not really a fighter in that division where I go, hey, I've got a very keen eye on them. That's not the case at 135 for me. And hey, props to them. They're all I'm sure there's some great fighters there. I'm sure of that. I'm not gonna knock on any women's MMA. Still, I think it could just use a little more buzz. I know Maya Ostrom is going to debut soon. I've had some encounters with her at the Olympics. I think she's going to do great, but it's sad that the fighter I'm most excited for is not even debuted yet. Still, I think that division is just going to be heating up. I know you're friends with Juliana Pena. I don't think she's that good of a fighter, to be honest with you. I don't see the big deal about her. I think she's very flat-footed and basic. I think her grappling's great. Her grappling's fine, but I think there's some areas she can improve. I don't think she's the savior of 135 like she says. I think she's kind of taken a page out of Angela Lee's book with this whole savior nonsense, and I think she's, she kind of took what Angela Lee did and she did it a little bit cringier, if you ask me. I know she's your friend. I get it. You guys are great friends. I don't see the big deal. I'm just giving my honest assessment. As for 135, the men's bantamweight division, I mean, that's a great division. You've got Cody Garbrandt, Dominic Cruz, Demetrius Johnson, the champion. Now you've got Inoue. You've got TJ Dillashaw. Brandon Marino's there now. You've got Aljamain Sterling. That's a great division. I can't wait. I think that the division it's now kicking into full gear now that Cody's coming back. And I've had some time to train with Cody. I've had some time to kind of help Cody kind of fill those gaps that he had in the last fight with Dominic Cruz. And I've seen his recovery firsthand. I helped him out a couple times in his recovery. I've given him some assistance. We've kind of joined camps a little bit for this one. And I'm really excited for people to see what he has brought. And I think Cody's going to put Dominic Cruz away within the first 2 rounds. Probably even the first round. Now, 155, the lightweight division, obviously for the men's, is a great division as well. Max Holloway's been a great champion. I thought his performance against Tony Ferguson was one of the greatest I've ever seen in that division. And the fact that he was able to put him away, I mean, that's big in itself. No one's really put Tony Ferguson away like that at 155. Obviously, you had Justin Gaethje, but that was like Tony Ferguson wasn't out. Max Holloway put him out. That's crazy. I think we're seeing something different with Max Holloway. We're seeing something new. Michael Chandler is going to do great. He's been acquiring some very impressive wins, and he has added a great skill set to his repertoire. I'm pretty excited to see where guys like, of course, Dustin go. And I think, in the end of the day, I think Conor is going to move back down to 155. I think these guys at 170 are going to prove to be a little too heavy for him. I think he's going to go back down to 155. I think that's his division. Still, I've been wrong before. Who knows? 170, as I was saying it, you've got the Grand Prix. That's going to be big. There's some big names in that Grand Prix. I'm liking the look of Vicente Luque. I'm liking what he's doing. I liked his comeback against Rafael dos Anjos. I like the landscape of 170. You got Douglas Lima. He's just getting his footing back. I think he's still got a lot to work on, but I think he is kind of finding himself here in this promotion, and that's very exciting to see. Douglas Lima is one of the best ever. I think he's one of the best fighters ever. I'm a big fan of him. Of course, George St. Pierre, the greatest welterweight of all time, in my opinion. And Tyron Woodley, who's not exactly in good favors right now, but yeah. What can you do? You know what I'm saying, Alan? that situation is what it is. 185, my division. I've already went over that before. There's so many great names. 205, which is where you and the other big boys play. I don't see anybody beating you anytime soon for that belt. That's might be my bias, but I just don't see anyone doing it. Still, I think the division is about to heat up. I think we've got some great names that are working their way back up. I heard Cain Velasquez might be looking to move down, and I think that's going to be great. I've heard some rumblings that Rumble Johnson might be next in line for a title shot. I think that's going to be great. And, of course, you have against Luke Rockhold coming up from 185. I think it's a great move for Luke. I don't think it's going to work out well for him against you, but I think it's a great move for 205, kind of create some buzz in that division. And then heavyweight. Yeah, heavyweight's a crazy division. Anything can happen in heavyweight. I will always be tuning into heavyweight fights because anything can happen. Anyone can go spark out anytime. You've got some submission specialists up there now. Heavyweight, and especially when you go up there, I think the game is going to be flipped. I can't wait for that. It's great.
Yes, sir. All right, you were talking about the 185 division for the men's. Who do you have your eyes on currently at this current point in time?
Well, obviously, I've got MAHVIN, who's been running his mouth. MAHVIN. I think MAHVIN just needs to relax a little bit, to stop shooting that shit in his ass, whatever the hell he's shooting up his butt. I don't know what the hell is wrong with that guy, but stop shooting that stuff and, get a fucking grip, dude. You got destroyed so many times by people who can't even wrestle. When the guy isn't able to take somebody down, it's a bad night for him. The guy's I don't give a fuck about the guy, to be honest. He's just the opponent they gave to me. I don't give a fuck about MAHVIN. He is a clown. He's the whole goddamn circus. Of course, I have my eyes on him, but honestly, I'm looking right past him. I'm looking at the Israel Adesanyas. We've got unfinished business, me and Izzy. I'm looking at the Jake Carter's. Me and Jake, I think that'd be a great fight, and we've already made great rivals in the WWE. I'm looking at Darren Till, who I wanted to fight originally. I wanted to fight Darren Till originally. I didn't even want to fight MAHVIN. I thought MAHVIN would be a little too easy for me. I want something that's gonna, show that I'm legit, that I'm a real fighter here. I want someone that's gonna put up a fight, not some guy named MAHVIN who mentally checks out and starts shooting for the legs the second he faces any adversity. I wanted Darren Till. I wanted a guy who can slug and stand and bang and had great kickboxing and great fundamentals and had a sharp 1-2. That's what I wanted. I wanted that fight. I wanted to give the fans something, not this kind of shoot for the legs whenever there's any kind of heightened intensity in the fight kind of fighting that MAHVIN Vettori does. A meathead, juice head, and as it goes for everyone else. I mean, the entire division is my playground. So as they come, they will fall, and as they fall, I will rise. And I'm looking forward to this. This is going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, but it's going to be an ugly masterpiece to see. Ugly for them, beautiful for me. And sometimes, it's the ugly things that are truly beautiful, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean, son. Here is a personal question from me. Can you please, for the love of God, at some point, please, are you going to take the title off of Luke Rockhold?
Haha, I was talking to Celia about this last night. She said, a guy like me, she believes I'd be in title contention within 3-4 fights. Now, keep in mind, a lot of people don't know, but she did some work with the UFC before. She used to help them with kind of a little bit of a promotional side, kind of a chief, not exactly the chief brand officer, but she used to work under the chief brand officer. And she says that marketing wise is the big I agree with her that marketing is the big strategy for a lot of these championship fights, because there's a lot of guys that are on some crazy win streaks that haven't gotten a title shot, like Carla Esparza. I mean, she should have got a title shot. She should have got a title shot before Tatiana Suarez ever did, in my opinion. I think if they were to fight again, I think Carla would have a very good chance of taking that back. But I believe that the marketing of that was so good because it was Angela Lee, the 115 champion, the new queen who just dethroned the greatest 115 fighter of all time in Joanna. She's going up against the undefeated rising star Tatiana Suarez. I think it did great, and it did great numbers. 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, I think. It did great. It did big numbers. Of course, Carla Esparza and Angela Lee isn't that big of a fight. Carla hasn't marketed herself well. She's kind of just started marketing herself. She kind of talks, but she's not the most exciting fighter to watch. Angela Lee is exciting, and I think that was a good fight. And to see her up against someone like Tatiana Suarez, undefeated versus the champion. And I was talking to Celia about this. She says that if I can amass a win streak, she thinks I'll be in contention for a title shot very quickly. And I asked her what are her thoughts, because she goes over this with me too, breaking down these fighters. She watches this tape with me too. Most of the time I'm watching the tape. I'm watching with her. She points out things that I don't see. She's actually very, very knowledgeable in the sport. A lot of people don't know. You're a nutritionist. She helps you get ready. She helps you get in shape for your fights. A lot of people also don't know that. And she herself was asking me that same question. Am I going to be the one who dethrones Luke Rockhold? To be honest, I don't think it's going to get that far. I don't see Luke being the champion for that long, to be honest. The guy, he is a fucking clown, isn't he? He doesn't take this shit seriously at all. I don't think he cares. I don't think he even sees himself as champion. I think he's shocked that he beat Adesanya. I think he is shocked that he beat Izzy. I'm shocked that he beat Izzy. I think he's shocked himself. I don't think he expected that to happen. Of course, respect for Luke Rockhold. I mean, he is the champion. You got to respect that. But I'm not entirely convinced the guy's going to be champion for. I think Izzy might beat him in the second fight. The improvements Izzy's making, I think he might knock him out in the second fight, because this guy is such a bumbling, incoherent dilettante that it's so hard to take him seriously. He's a drunken mess. Every time you see the guy, he's drunk. He's drunk in sparring. He's drunk in the gym, I hear now. This guy is a wreck. His life is going down the toilet. It's pretty sad to see. But also you want to laugh because the guy doesn't even take himself seriously. How he's going to take being the champion of the world seriously? I don't think he's going to be champion that long, to be honest. But if it comes down to it, I think my wrestling's better than his. And I think, as we will see, my kickboxing is way better than his. And I think I could definitely take Luke Rockhold out to the woodshed and put him out to pasture. Poor old man. Poor old bastard. Poor old bastard.
Yeah, and he's gonna be he's extra delusional if he thinks he's gonna become a double champion. That's just not gonna happen.
Well, we went over that plenty of times. We have the game plan. We know. I've broken down the exact sequence that you need to put him away within 2 rounds. So exactly. That's gonna be great.
And in the process, hopefully I humble his ass, because he's gonna need Jesus after I'm done with him.
God bless his soul, ain't it?
All right. So here's the final question for you. What's your prediction for your fight with MAHVIN? How do you win the fight?
Yeah, my good friend Mav, and like I said before, I don't think I'm gonna have any trouble. I don't know where he's gonna trouble me. The guy, his takedowns aren't that good. He had trouble taking down people I've seen that have been taken down by worse wrestlers than him. He's had trouble with them. The guy, he's got one game plan, that's wrestling. His boxing is shit. His boxing is winging overhands and winging hooks. And what's his jab even look like? I've never seen this guy throw a proper jab with proper trajectory. I mean, MAHVIN's got his head so far up his ass, and his stupid fucking manager, Ali Abdullah Sleaze, fucking 9/11. Oh, I'm not even gonna get into that. That's for Connor to get into. But his manager just as delusional as him. I hear that guy's talking shit about me now. That guy's an idiot. You surround yourself with idiots. You are the company that you keep. So if you surround yourself with idiots, more than likely you are an idiot. That guy is an idiot. And it's his excuse all the time is that, oh, I'm Italian. Dude, nobody gives a fuck that you're Italian. Nobody cares. Who cares that you're Italian? Nobody cares. Oh, you eat a lot of pizzas and pastas. Okay, Mario. You're Mario. I'll be Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, and I'll steamroll your ass in the octagon. How's that sound, MAHVIN? It's going to be bad. It's going to be a bad night for Mr. Vittori, the Italian dream. Whatever. What does he call himself? The Italian, whatever the hell this guy calls himself. Yeah, you're going to be waking up from a pretty darn horrible nightmare. Because when you're looking up at the lights and you realize, shit, I just fumbled the biggest fight of my career and the biggest payday of my career. And when that check clears, I'm pretty sure most of it's going to go to your hospital bills anyway, but when that check clears, you're going to be thanking me and you're going to be wishing we did it again. It's going to be bad for MAHVIN. I won't say exactly what I have in mind because I'll be giving away the sequence, but I know exactly how I'm going to end this. I break down these fights to the sequence of how it's going to end. And it's going to be violent for MAHVIN. So he can keep running his mouth, talking about bored rich prick this and your fiance that. He can do whatever he wants. I don't care. I don't give a shit about that guy. This is just light work. This is a tune-up. This is a tune-up to the bigger names of this division, the people that actually matter at 185. MAHVIN, he doesn't matter. He's just the first chapter. He's when you open the book. He's the byline, maybe. I don't know. The guy is actually a fucking tool. And Dana has set him up for failure because there's no way he's got a puncher's chance of winning this. Maybe he gets a good trip and maybe he sinks in some fucking stupid guillotine. The guy's submissions suck ass as well, I'll tell you that. That's not going to happen. So you take that out, the guy has a puncher's chance. He's garbage. He's nothing. He's a corpse. That's all it is. That's all his career is. His career is in the toilet. Everything you've heard about this guy, they've told you how great he is. His wrestling. He's got a little bit of power. Oh, he knocked out Darren Till. Big shit. Everyone's knocked out Darren Till at this point. It's not a fucking accomplishment. He's still a better fighter than you. He was kicking your ass. You got a lucky Hail Mary shot and that was it. I don't give a shit about the guy. This is going to be business, pleasure, and a little bit of humiliation because you know I'm a sadist. Just ask Celia. That's my prediction for the fight. Violence.
Yes, sir. Marvin is for the fucking birds. Well, all right. Well, that comes to the end of this segment. You know, what I plan on doing is giving a chance for the person to speak any final words. Do you have any final words for everybody out there that's listening right now?
Yeah, tune in November 21st. It's going to be great. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to all of you guys in my camp who have prepared me for this, all of the people who supported me around the world. Miami, baby, I'm doing this for you. I'll be representing. Tokyo, I'll be representing. Everyone knows the deal. It's the Scarface. He is in town. MAHVIN is going out. I'm not going to let that motherfucker tap out. I'm not going to let him I'm not going to let the ref step in and give him a TKO. He's going out. That's it. MAHVIN's done. Nobody has to hear this idiot again. He's over there insulting Paul Felder. I'm doing this for Felder too. This guy's going to pay. He's going to pay for everything he said. That's why the event is called Hell to Pay, because there is hell to pay for the words that you say. MAHVIN, yeah, you're going to be fucking spit shined, motherfucker. As for everybody else, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. I'll put on a great performance. I'll give you guys something great to leave with. This is for the fans. This is for my bank account, MAHVIN. And this is for the love of the game. Can't wait to do it. Go check out my sister Ashley. Go check out her documentary coming up soon. The Jake Carter story. Canada's Finest. That's going to be great. My fiance Celia, she's got a movie coming out shortly. Go check that out. Go check out Aya's got some music dropping soon. Go check that out. Seth Rollins is a bitch. Who else is a bitch? Luke Rockhold's a bitch. He's going out November 21st as well. It's going to be a great night for the Snyder family as the empire grows. Thank you, Alan. Glad to be here. Great house as well. Sorry about the vase. I'll pay for that. Don't make sure.
Yeah, no problem.
Don't worry about it. I'll handle Connor's dirty work for him. Pay for that. Get that out of the way.
All right. Well, with all that being said, once again, thank you for your time today, son. And I want to, going forward, I want to try to get some more guests in my house to do these interviews. So, hopefully that goes well and we can, do some more crazy shit like this in the future. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and listening, and I will see you guys on the next one.
See ya, everybody.